What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. Joining us today, fellow Dallasite and super awesome Mographer extraordinaire, Mr. Travis Ragsdale.
What up?
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, or like this one that I got sent in from Gavin this morning asking to show his reel. And I'll show that later. I'll talk about it
that's
later.
That's a good reel.
So and here's the deal. Usually,
I knew it was going to get you too. As soon as I started watching it, I was like,
because of the Orville.
Oh yeah. Dave's going to show this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, usually if somebody randoms like that I've never met is like, hey, will you promote this? I'm like, let's look at this.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, oh man, this is good. So yeah, I'll show that later. We are working on getting our website a little more spiffy, if you will. We've got a lot of articles that have been coming out lately. If you feel like checking it out, we've still got a ways to go on some of the pages and whatnot. But mograph.com, it is redone. You can see our countdown to our live show and all that, as well as like some of the article and podcast moments and things. We've got new articles, like a new one from last week, a new one coming out this week. I think you're really going to enjoy. So we've just kind of like revamped how this looks, podcast page as well. I think I mentioned the other day that had already been done. So yeah, that's it's coming along nicely. I'm finally happy with it. Looks like an actual website now. So if you want to check that out, there's going to be more editions coming later, including a preview of some of the classes that we have coming up. Got a lot of classes in the works right now.
Pumped about these. Yeah.
And by the end of the year, it's just going to be there's going to be a lot of fun classes to take. So, I do need a couple more people to test the Unreal, the beta test Unreal. I can only take 2 more people. So first come, first serve, I guess. But you have to be willing to really go through everyone pretty quick, like right now, like start going through as they're coming in and give us feedback. Can't really like get it and sit on it because
I am starting the course tomorrow.
Sweet.
And I'm going to go through the entire thing. So
nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to get feedback on that. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about is I wanted to give a little preview here because we have kind of a new thing that we're going to be doing every once in a while. These videos on Instagram has Instagram TV and Facebook has like their video whatever. So we're adding our own lineup to that. It's Mograph TV. You're going to be able to go to mograph.com/TV and get to this. There's nothing there right now, so there's no point in doing it till later this week. But I'm going to give a preview of what you're going to see. Now, this one is going to be a handy little video that I think you could send to people whenever they tell you that they're trying to choose the best render engine and they want to know which one is the best, or when they ask, "Hey, what render engine is that?"
What would you say if they said that render is fire?
Then I would say thanks, I guess.
All right, go on. Sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, but okay, if somebody asks what render engine, because they have to have that render engine in order to be good, you can send them to whatrenderengine.com, which also isn't redirecting. Again, this is a preview, so you'll be able to send them there, and you'll be able to show them this video. I'll just redirect to this video. So, without further ado, here's a premiere of What Render Engine. Which render engine is best? You hear the question online all the time, and today we're finally going to have an answer. And the answer is, there isn't one. If anyone tells you there is, they're lying. Just kidding. They're not really lying, but they're just telling you their own favorite personal choice. Everywhere you look online, there are people posting renders. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and there's always that one comment.
Looks awesome, what render engine?
Why is that? That's because people starting out in motion graphics think, if I just got that render engine and a couple of those plugins, my stuff would look like that too. But those things are just tools. They don't make the artists. Have you ever gone to a museum and heard somebody ask,
awesome painting, what brush?
Of course you haven't. Let's face it, it can be almost intimidating to see the amount of design work flowing through your feeds. How does everybody do it? You're not seeing all the hours of hard work and practice that goes in behind the scenes. The render engine isn't what makes great work look great. It's the lighting, the texturing, the framing, the focal length of the camera, the story, and especially the hours of practice that makes something look cool. So why isn't there a best render engine? Well, it's simple. People have different preferences. Most render engines can do just about anything, but some of them do specific things better than others. It's up to you to decide what best fits your workflow. Your artwork can look good with almost any render engine you choose. Look at this render by Bhatki Patel. Looks like Octane, right? Nope, that's physical render in Cinema 4D. Most people would have guessed Octane because there's been a slew of TV show openers using Octane over the last few years. The texturing and lighting make this scene, not the engine. Now, there's a lot of talk about Redshift versus Octane. Again, the best one is the one that you need for your client's next project. Lots of people like Octane for its photorealism, physically accurate lighting, but it's also loved for its easy-to-use network rendering. But Redshift can do that too, and there's some less physically accurate techniques artists really enjoy about Redshift when creating stylized or illustrative work. Redshift requires the use of nodes right off the bat. So if nodes aren't your thing, maybe you want to try Octane. Octane can be used with or without nodes. Again, personal preference. A lot of people also ask about Octane and Redshift versus Corona and Arnold. Which one is best? That's a tough comparison to make. They both make some pretty pictures, but let's start with this. Have you tried them? Most render engines have free trials, so you can decide for yourself. It depends on the type of work you're doing, your personal workflow, and if it makes sense to you. Are you doing architectural renders, VFX, cartoons, photorealism? And the biggest reason it's a tough comparison is it's GPU versus CPU. That's going to affect the way you work a lot. Octane and Redshift are GPU render engines. They render using your graphics card, while Corona and Arnold use your CPU instead. So what happens when you need to work at scale? If you're a one-man show with one CPU, you're going to hit a wall come render time. If you want to expand your render speed, you're going to need a faster processor or another processor, but that only takes you so far. What if you want to double, triple, or quadruple your speed? You're going to need some more computers, and that can get costly really fast. Many people using CPU renderers send their projects to a render farm in the cloud to complete their long renders. But that may not fit your budget either. That's why artists or studios with limited number of computers may prefer to use GPU rendering. This means to add render speed, they just add another video card. They may be a little pricey, but it sure beats building a whole new computer. GPU rendering is generally one-to-one. Need to cut your render time in half? Add another card. Want to cut it in half again? Double the amount of cards. So to reiterate, here's the checklist. Have you tried it? Does it fit your workflow? Is it easy to wrap your brain around? Do you like it? Those are real reasons to choose your render engine, not just because you saw a daily you liked. As a motion graphic artist, you're never going to know what style you really need or what render engine a studio might ask you to use, so it's important to know multiple engines. You know why Octane Jesus is Octane Jesus? Because he likes Octane. It's not like he's never touched another render engine. It's up to you to choose your own best render engine. You should be comfortable with the software you're using so that you can concentrate on your art. So go try some render engines, decide for yourself, and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. And now you have the answer. If you want to hear more in-depth discussion about the differences in render engines, be sure to check out Mograph.com's Late Night Render Talk video linked in the description. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest videos, live shows, and podcasts. Yay.
I dig that music.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I need to set up my
Impulse-
stream deck for applause, you know?
Impulse asks, where can I find this video? We'll be on our YouTube channel later today and at whatrenderengine.com. So, yeah, I've been having fun playing with that new camera.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that Blackmagic 6K is nice. It's nice.
Dude, it is not easy working with 6K footage for something like that, but I went full YouTuber, so I wanted all the
right.
I wanted all the resolution so I could zoom in and do all that. And I realized I don't need to shoot as much in front of my actual computer for that stuff because I ended up putting the green screen on top of the background of the computer anyway.
Yeah.
So like if you saw a transition, that was green screen. Otherwise, I was actually in front of the computer, but I was like, I didn't have to shoot multiple takes in front of the computer. I could just green screen my desk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of a waste of footage. I guess it's a good backup, but yeah.
I need it now.
So we're going to be doing more videos like that pretty soon, Matt. I'm ready to like see you do one of these. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta think about that. I gotta think about what to do. You know, I don't
maybe
like.
you can.
Here's the thing about being a generalist. You know, and like this is what I found starting doing tutorials and stuff like that, and then moving into, you know, I haven't done a tutorial in a long time. You know, it's because you know, when I was first learning, it was like I was jumping over that hurdle of like, how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you do this? And then once I finally found the answer and I found my own workaway around it, then I do a tutorial about it, you know? But as you become a generalist, you start to know all these things, and it's not like you're pushing yourself to like some weird understanding of things. I don't know. And it's also like a it's a whatchamacallit. What's the word? What's the phrase? The
what?
Where you don't think you're good enough as everyone else.
Oh,
imposter syndrome. Yeah, it's a bit of that, you know. Yeah. So I don't know, whatever. I'll get there. I'll get there.
I can see you doing like, I don't know. I mean, you really enjoy doing like the creative, you know, short comedy, that kind of thing. Like, you know, you could start doing these with me and send me footage from your green screen, and we could, you know, do stuff together. EJ's already told me he's gonna guest star in the next one because I already have the whole thing planned.
Yeah. See, I really want to work on a short though. Like, I'm really pumped to like. What I'd like to do is, so I've got 3 ideas for different shorts, and like really the big deciding factor right now is like which one is going to be the easiest to pull off versus, you know, will look the best and look different and stuff like that. Right. You know. Like, because I don't want to just.
Yeah, you don't want to find something that you just end up like hating at the end, and it takes you like a year.
I mean, the thing is, you know? Like, I also want it to look stylistically a little bit different than just, you know, normal cartoon stuff or whatever, you know. And it's not photoreal, you know. It's whatever. So the thing is deciding on which one I want to do. Then also, we've got the Unreal stuff, so I got to go through that, of course. I mean, work comes first, you know? But I want to be able to do this short, and I'd love to be able to walk through the process with people, you know, like record the different steps that I'm taking and blah, 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 and say, this is what it took me to
do. You could blog it.
Yeah, a vlog. I'll vlog my entire process, you know? The thing is, like, it's also the whole, like, I don't know how to draw. So, you know, I don't know how to do character design and stuff like that. And it's like, do I hire someone to do that? Or, you know, but because then that costs money, and but money dough, you know, but money dough.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting. So like trying to figure out what I can pull off, you know, myself. I don't know.
It'd be fun if you could make some like animations for one of these videos.
Yeah.
That would be like a good like start, like something small and, you know, quick. See, like one character or something.
Yesterday, so Amy, my wife has been super into TikTok the past couple days. She discovered TikTok and literally binged it until her phone died. Oh, you know the
Chinese spy on you with that.
Yeah, that's what I said. So she binged it. She binged until her phone died, and then she took my phone.
Oh my God.
You know, while her phone was charging, and binged it some more. Like, I got to play Animal Crossing all night last night because she was just binging TikToks. You know, it's great.
How many dance videos can you watch?
Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. You know, and then you got the
over and over. Yeah.
It's kind of like Vine, I feel like, you know, like Vine. It's like they have like skits and funny random stuff.
It's exactly the same thing, except for it's run by the Chinese government.
I enjoy Vine.
You know?
Exactly.
I enjoy Vine.
Right. Yeah. But she was telling me maybe I should do some of these TikTok videos, you know, before I do a full-fledged short, where I'm like, you know, take whatever the trendy thing, you know, like the trendy dance or something, and then try and do a short with that, you know? Because then, like, that's 10, 12 seconds, whatever. I don't know. Then we could throw it up on our TikTok, because we got a TikTok, right?
I wonder if instead of doing like motion capture, what if you just kind of like overlaid a character on top of one of those videos and just mimicked the movements and had your character do a dance video?
Yeah, I was trying to get more practice with like character stuff, because I'm like not very well versed in that. I thought, like, because I signed up for TikTok, just started posting my old like stuff from Instagram, and it like got actual views, because like there wasn't that much stuff on TikTok at the time. But I thought about doing like take a character like the one I made of myself for the Pabst Blue Ribbon spot I did, animating that character doing like a dance, and then I kind of started to do it, and I was like, what am I doing? I don't know. This is like takes first of all, it takes so much time, and like what's is it gonna pay off? Like, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Internet dollars.
Yeah, how many internet dollars do you get? You know, but I don't know. Like, I mean, one of our clients is actually a former Viner. Is that the word? Viner?
Yeah, Vine.
Vine was a former Vine star, turned YouTuber, and it's like he makes a lot of money doing that stuff.
I mean YouTube.
Yeah, doing YouTube and doing Instagram and doing all this other stuff, It's like that's his life now, and it all started in Vine, So I know there's there's money out there or whatever, but it's like
it's really about the content. You move the content wherever it needs to go.
Right.
And I mean, just like this video, this is going on Instagram TV and on YouTube, but it's not going to go like to other certain places, there's short format, long format, you kind of just put it where it needs to go, I guess.
Yeah. TikTok is weird. It's like, then there's like videos on how you cook correctly or how you can work out different workout routines and stuff like that. And I'm like, what is this place?
Those ecosystems are going to develop whenever you have like a big platform like that. I feel like, like the cooking people will pop on there, and then the celebrities will hop on it. But I feel like with Instagram, I posted on Instagram like for, years now, and like got actual clients, because like people that work for agencies looking for like creatives will actually go on Instagram and look for people. Whereas like not the case with TikTok, at least right now. Like I doubt anybody on TikTok is looking for like somebody to hire for a gig. Maybe, but I think it's a lot less likely. But I think when I started posting on there, it was sort of just the idea of like get my stuff more widely seen, and like you said, like those internet dollars, like you get followers, and then that turns into something.
Yeah. The thing that I found with TikTok is like I don't really know where to start. It's like you open it up, and then there's some thing, and then you just randomly scroll through it, and then you click on other hashtags and stuff like that, and find other things and other people doing the stupid dances.
What I don't like are the videos that you only get half of it until you don't get part 2 unless you like subscribe to them. I don't understand. Like, just show me the whole video. I hate that. How many times can you see somebody almost explode some Mentos and then say like and subscribe to see the ending?
Right.
So dumb. I mean,
trying to get followers.
But if I like it, then I'll follow it. Like the whole half video thing, and I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna put our content out some other platforms to see what happens. But I feel like there's some people who might kind of maybe get something out of these videos that we're gonna do, that are maybe entering the industry or interested in the industry. There's going to be stuff on basics, stuff like that. Maybe like the regular podcast listener isn't going to necessarily go watch our video on like what's a keyframe,
right?
You know what I mean? Right. Like stuff like that. So we're just experimenting with some content.
That's what I'll do. I'll do a whole beginner series. I feel comfortable in the beginner series,
right? But that's the thing. It's about getting people interested in it, getting people who are kind of on the fence about what they want to do with their career, especially right now when they're looking at, do I want to go like rendered 3D? Do I want to get into video games? Do I want to get into flat 2D drawing? Like, I feel like right now is a good time for a lot of people to get into this industry.
Yeah.
If you're looking at stuff like Netflix right now, you look at what is it called? Is it called History 101 or whatever the name of that show is? It just came out. It's full on motion graphics history, and I don't know if it's because of the pandemic I don't know if they created the series that quick or not. Maybe it was just coincidence, but if you go look at it, you'll see what I mean. It's like explainer videos on history. Very, very graphically oriented. No interviews that were made for it. Just previous interviews, old historical footage, and lots of diagrams and cool looking graphics. It's very inspirational to look at because you get ideas, for doing stuff. So
see, that's another thing about this whole quarantine thing is, say you do a short and it actually does really well, people like it. You could sell the concept, because content creator they're looking for content right now because we're going to hit this long lull of not having any content for a while.
Right.
It's got to be content you can make from home or you get Skype interviews with the people that you got to get Skype interviews with. Or if you're lucky, maybe they have a better camera or something they can use to send you the footage, but it's not the same.
It's funny watching all these people who are from home, Skyping in, and like the lighting is really nice and the camera that they're using is perfect and stuff like that. It's like, they sent a team over to that person's house in order to shoot. And it's like, okay, that's not really quarantine.
I've seen a lot of them that do it through a window.
You're quarantining.
Right.
A lot of them will do it like through a front window. They'll sit there and they'll
I didn't even think about that.
The lights and stuff, and then they'll shoot through the front window.
That's
and then
funny.
They'll take the camera back. Yeah. So the lights, I guess, stay in the wireless mic, but they just come over and sit down right in front, shoot it, and go.
So John Krasinski's show or whatever?
It got sold.
Yeah, it got sold to friggin' CBS.
Was his show on Amazon?
No, he was doing some YouTube
channel.
show about Good Happy
News
Things,
Network.
Good News Network or something like that, and it's like, then he sold it to CBS, and it's like, okay, well, that's
the
not
ironing
good news.
is delicious,
right? Okay, now you're just another
now
Ellen
it's going
or
corporate.
Oprah or something like that.
I don't think he's even going to be on it.
Is he not? That's stupid.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
And
it's so dumb.
It is frustrating to watch that because people like that are so famous that all they have to do is just put something on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they have millions of views. And you're like,
yeah.
But there's no work in it. There's no audio quality whatsoever. Super echoey audio and
all just
all
using
of that.
their name.
It's just,
that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's frustrating.
I'll just pick myself up by my bootstraps.
Stop. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Stop eating all that avocado toast.
Right.
Anyway. Couple other things for the week I wanted to mention. Ravcock, what's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
I wanted to talk about NVIDIA Studio drivers.
Okay.
This is a PSA. Let me talk to you today about NVIDIA Studio drivers and why they're important.
Yeah.
I did not realize how important they were because I don't like to update things.
Dave does. That is the understatement of the year. That Dave does not like. He will.
It took me 6 hours to update my computer the other day, and I was like, and that is why I don't update my computer.
If you would actually just update continually, it would only take you like maybe 5 minutes each time.
Last time there was a Windows and NVIDIA update, everybody had massive problems.
You know what?
I was just sitting back like,
I'm the only person, I'm probably the only person in this industry who, when there's an update for Windows or whatever, I update it immediately. If the only one that I don't update is Adobe, because I've had a history of Adobe sucking for every update that they've ever done, and I'm actually still on 2018.
I'm still running After Effects CS6. So,
yeah.
Oh,
just kidding,
man.
Just too afraid.
No, I'm very much about just let everybody else figure it out. But here's the deal: I did update Premiere. And I'll tell you that I'm actually loving the new updated Premiere. There's some interesting things in there that I've played with. I haven't had a use to really use it yet, but I'm trying. There's what is it called? it's auto reframing is what it's called.
Yeah.
So if you right click on a sequence now, you can say auto reframe, and you can say I want this to be a 1x1 comp. for Instagram, right? And it tries to face track and get the best pieces of the motion and actually auto track in and move the shot.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. If you have
text in there, will it automatically move the text?
I don't know if it moves the text or if it just rescales certain ways. I don't know. I haven't had enough time to play with it, but I like that. And it has implemented some of the new CUDA stuff all the way now. So cool. you can CUDA hardware encode. Now, I haven't updated Adobe Media Encoder. So I think this isn't working for some reason, but I think it's because I haven't updated it yet. But from Premiere, I can now, if I'm doing one pass VBR encoding, I can tell it to do hardware encoding, and I can tell it to use CUDA, and it will do things like BRAW files, BRAW files, and other certain types of exports 3 times faster. And there's a video that I'm actually going to put in the show notes for the episode you can check out. It goes a lot faster. I was working off of 6K footage off of an external hard drive, not even an SSD, and it handled it pretty well considering how big the files were.
Gosh. Do you remember when HD came out and we could barely even handle that? Remember back in my day?
Remember when 4K came out and After Effects could barely handle... Oh, wait, it's still like that. Whoops.
Hey, remember when you didn't need 2 frames in order to play back?
Yeah. McDaffy says, tomorrow Windows 10 May monster update is coming. Be aware. I will not be updating that. I tell you, the problem is I have all my stuff set to not auto update. So I'm going like not the Reg editor, but what is it? That other thing where you set all the commands not to ever. Don't check the internet for this. Don't auto update for this. Don't put in the start menu. The only option is to update and restart. I was about to do a show one time and it said, "Oh, update and restart," and I'm like, so my choice is or death.
My choice like
I can't
or death.
Because I'm about to start a show and I don't have 45 minutes to make sure that this works, and then all this audio sound things are all screwed up. It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Like it's just not a good idea.
Yeah.
But here's what I was going to say about the studio driver thing is 2 different people, David Aryev and Jeremy, also hit me up this week and was talking about Premiere issues. Something about using the game ready drivers when you're using Premiere, especially when you're using big files. I've noticed this. The screen will just go black.
Yeah.
And you can't use Premiere for more than like 5 or 10 minutes without it going black. Something is crapping out. I had
this happen with After Effects as well. I haven't had it happen since the Studio ones.
Yeah, and After Effects is the first thing that I did after Studio. I opened everything up. It kind of like went black in Premiere a couple times the first time I opened it. It's like it was resetting something, but after that it was fine. So now you have 3 times faster exporting with CUDA. And then you've also got Premiere working really well with Studio. I've got less Octane crashes with Studio. So a lot of people just throw in the basic driver and don't think that it matters. And I have found that it actually matters.
Yeah.
So I'm proof. I should have checked that a long time ago.
I was having tons of Octane crashes, and then I contacted their support and they said try installing those drivers, and it completely fixed the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing that I've noticed too is, I mean, it still works well with gaming. I played Grand Theft Auto and it was smooth like butter the other day. And then the thing it does do though is it gives you the option to switch the drivers. It leaves both the drivers in NVIDIA.
Oh, cool.
You can say, switch back to the game driver if you need to, but I don't see a reason why cool. I don't want, unless something's not working, I guess. So Premiere Octane issues, talked about the Premiere Pro, all that. Yeah, that's all I got right now. Travis, let's talk about you and your background.
All right.
Yeah.
Me talk about my background?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up. Bring up your website.
Yeah. Bring up his website. So how'd you get started? How old are you? Can I ask?
I'm 24. Yes.
You're 24?
Yeah.
I thought you were older than that. Oh, man, such an old man.
I know.
You young kids, you whippersnappers.
No, I actually been doing like 3D. I've been interested in 3D like since I was really young. So like my parents didn't let me play video games, so I'm one of those guys that doesn't play any video games, but's really into 3D. So no, yeah, I started like playing around with Blender when I was younger. Like I was like 13, and I was like just using Blender to like rip models off of Turbo Squid and like render them out and be like, look what I made, you know? So I was like daily rendering back before Instagram was even a thing. But no, yeah, like I just kind of started messing around with that. I really liked just the satisfaction of like creating, even if it's not my, like I would do the lighting or like render it out. And I mean, obviously those looked not great comparatively, but I was young and like had fun with it. And so my parents were like, you know, took them a while to figure out that I wasn't just like not doing anything all day and just staying inside and working on the computer. But yeah, so I started doing that and they saw that I had an interest. So like I went to this charter school. You guys might have heard of it because it's in DFW. It's called iSchool.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah. It's like a charter school it was a STEM academy. And then they the same company opened like a media focused school. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool, like concept. Transferred over there and started like learning design and Photoshop and like they had like a video photo studio, so I did like video photo stuff and kind of like learned that. And then I got like a little internship at the animation department in like a fellowship church in Grapevine. And so I did that when I was like 16, like a freshman. So
Which church was that?
Fellowship, like the mega church.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, Six Flags Over Jesus.
People from there.
Six Flags Over Jesus, basically. No, but I did that and learned like After Effects. The guy who like mentored me there was really cool. Taught me a lot about like After Effects and stuff. So got into like all the Adobe products and sort of focused a little more on like design and video stuff for a while. And then me and a couple of the people that I had met through the school, the media school, we started like doing design and video and like just websites, whatever we could kind of get like general creative work for like local people just right out of high school. So we were like, let's at least not go to college for a while and see what happens. And so yeah, we started doing that, and then we got linked up with some people like in downtown in Dallas and started like a little studio there, and we all kind of worked together just doing local bars and restaurants and shops and things like that. We would do like websites and branding and all that type of stuff. And then as of like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, I kind of want to get back into 3D because I had like Blender experience in the past, but got back into like 3D with Cinema 4D and started just like messing around with that, trying to like mostly just doing personal, like trying to learn it and do that kind of stuff. So I didn't really have like a technical education with Cinema 4D. I kind of just jumped in and started making random stuff for like Instagram or whatever. And so that kind of picked up a little bit, like started posting more on Instagram and doing like, you know, the satisfying kind of content a lot, which was booming a lot back in the like 2006, 17. Like that was like, so my Instagram presence kind of grew a little bit. And then I started getting inquiries through there to like do actual client work, which turned into a lot more inquiries and a lot cooler work that I could display as like, hey, here's what I can do. Yeah. And, you know, local clients didn't like, a restaurant has no need for like, 3D work. They're like, what? I'm not, you know. Yeah. So started getting clients mostly through the internet and working with people all over like country, and then a couple international clients as well. And
now, I know they were coming to you through Instagram or whatnot, but what was drawing them to you through Instagram? Was it through certain channels? Was it through like hashtags specifically? Like, how does somebody get to your content and say, okay, I want you to do some work? Like, where did they see it, I guess?
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I don't know exactly. I would assume they're like, people like would reach out to me as like, hey, I'm essentially like a talent scout for this agency or for this client or whatever, and we're looking for somebody that does this type of work. So I guess maybe being on the Discover page just by getting a certain number of likes and like exposure helps. Yeah. But then, I mean, some, depending on like the agency you're talking to, a lot of them know what Cinema 4D is, so they go to like Cinema 4D hashtags, or they go to like a repost account that like MD community, they'll see those posts. Yeah. If you get reposted there, they'll see you. But most of them would reach out through email, because I had my email in there. But if they reached out through Instagram, usually I would just be like, email me and we can discuss it.
Yeah.
Right.
But that immediately weeds out half the people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What render engine?
Does it matter?
Apparently.
I use Octane. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that just turned into like a lot of work. So I had, more work doing that than like the local stuff. So me and my kind of colleagues, but really my friends, Sam and Cody, JD, like these guys all do like, Cody does dev stuff, and then Sam's more like business management and like relationships, and then JD does photography. So we all kind of do different areas of creative work. So we all just kind of have our own work, but we have the studio in Deep Ellum in like downtown Dallas. So we all work together. But nowadays it's sort of we all work on different projects, and sometimes we get to like collaborate. But so like pretty much full-time freelance for like the past like year or so. I'm just doing like 3D work.
Having a studio down in Deep Ellum, that was like my dream growing up. It was like, but now
I had one at one point.
Yeah, now that I'm like 37 years old, it's like, nah, working from home. That's the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I mean,
I had a place on Elm.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Like down in Deep Ellum?
Yeah, it was right off the beaten path right there though. Yeah, and it was like a shared. It was a shared space before shared spaces were a thing.
Yeah.
And back then, that was a very iffy area.
Yeah,
it was.
It goes up and down too. Like now, it's They say it's like more safe, but it's exactly. It's definitely getting a little sketchy. But I mean, definitely wouldn't want to live there. To be honest with you, I like. Working there is enough. Living down there is just like you're right in the middle of it. So I live up in North Dallas, but it is nice to be able to work from home. I feel like I get a lot done, and I could just kind of wake up and go from there to here, and then work.
Short commute.
Yeah, it's nice to have like that collaborative space too, though. So
yeah. Being able to jump ideas off of other people, just have someone to talk to, is
for sure.
That's why you need Skype. That's why Matt and I just leave Skype open.
We literally leave Skype on all day.
I do the same thing with Cody. We he's probably actually watching right now, but we literally will just jump on Hangouts in the morning because we're so used to working right next to each other. We'll just jump on like a Google Hangouts, and if I have questions, and we're actually working on a couple projects together right now, so we're like, if we need to just talk to each other, we're just like right there.
Yeah. It's convenient. It's nice.
Tell me about going from Blender to Cinema 4D. How did that jump happen? What was it about Cinema 4D that made you move to it?
So Blender, like I said, I used it when I was really young, and I know Blender has gotten way more powerful now, and a lot of like I have friends with a lot of Blender artists that are like super skilled, like it's a very like viable software, especially if you don't have like the budget for cinema or whatever. I chose to do, instead of just picking Blender back up, I chose to do Cinema 4D because when I used Blender back in the day, it was so like open source, and like the user interface was like so scattered and crazy. And so I had just remembered it in that way. And I know it's not necessarily like that now. Like it has a lot of similarities with cinema, but I had talked to some other people like just through Instagram, that like other artists, and I felt like for me at least, cinema was going to be more of a long-term option. Like I can use this, and I didn't want to like relearn Blender and then end up being like, oh, everybody's saying you should use Cinema 4D, and then switching over to that and trying to learn a whole new software. So I just bit the bullet and like bought the license and started using that. And just like it seemed like a better option because of my memory of how Blender was, which I know isn't really the case now. But it just felt like more long-term.
Yeah. I love I love your I've always loved your use of color, and the how all your stuff looks beautiful. It's not just like, you see a render and yours is more cartoony, not going more for the fun, more photorealistic stuff. But it's like your use of color is just great, and as this is me being an old fogey, you know, like I'm very impressed as a 24-year-old, you know, you didn't go to college, right? You just, and you're able to produce work that is, you know, so good.
No, thank you. I actually, interesting on that. I feel like the time I spent in just doing strictly, like, I was mostly doing design, like branding stuff and like design for like just different companies and video. So like I would do design and then I would go do a video shoot. So I feel like having those two, like that like it was probably like a 4-year span where I didn't really touch any 3D. I just did After Effects, I did Illustrator, and I did like video shoots. And having the knowledge of like design and like what looks good in flat 2D design helped a lot, knowing the colors and like the color ratios and like depth of field and like the concept of camera movements. And you know, you don't want it to look like a video game, like when it does like the story cuts and the camera movements sometimes, or like older video games that I'm not a video game guy, but like the unrealistic camera movements of like sometimes 3D work will have like a camera movement that's like, that doesn't look at all realistic because it wouldn't really be possible in physical, like with a physical camera. So having like just a background of like doing design, that helps with color, and then camera movements, like, you know, like that is just like a subtle little pan. Like that's a very simple camera movement that creates more like, it's an unrealistic setting, but it's a realistic like lighting, color, and camera, you know?
Right.
That really helps for sure.
So the 36 days of type, what made you start doing this?
I mean, normally it's people who are just starting out want to do these 36 days of type and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wanted to do it when I first started out, and I never like did it. So I was like, you know what? Like I had we started it right before the quarantine stuff. So luckily I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to finish it, but I'll give it a go. And then luckily, like working from home in quarantine and all that, like I had some extra time where like at night when I would normally be home and my computer's at the studio, like I had it here. So I was just like, you know, it's easy to kind of knock some of these out, but it was fun. And like it was another good reason that I did it was I was doing, if you look at my Instagram and scroll before 36 days of type, I started doing like a while ago, like sets of 3 animations that had the same exact color scheme. And like, it would be like sets of 3 or sets of 6. And I feel like I got stuck in this, like, I have to do 3 animations because of the grid. It has to look perfect. And so I was like starting to get OCD about it. I was like, you know what?
You start planning your color scheme and like what's going to be in all the squares.
By the third one, I was like the third of the 3 animations. I would just be like, I'm so done with this color scheme. Like I wasn't even feeling it anymore. So I kind of used 36 days to break out of the like grid of 3 thing, which is so weird and like that's OCD, funny. But I was so tired of doing it. It just felt like a way to kind of like break out of that. So.
Yeah.
Well, I thought of a fun project you could do with like, at least with the numbers, you could do like a Raspberry Pi with a mini screen on it, right? And load up those animations and use each one to make like a clock. If you could do like a widescreen clock,
cool.
And then like it just plays the video for each number, and like one of them changes every minute or so. That would be fun.
Cool. Yeah, that would be super.
You could probably build it for like $25 too.
Yeah,
that would be super cool.
There you go, Dave. That's our next business venture.
It'd be easy to do. I have the parts actually here that I could actually build one. It's a Raspberry Pi. You get the little gum stick for $5, and then you can get a screen for like $25. And it hooks into it, and just load up whatever you want on there.
Yeah.
I'm looking at I'm here now at some of your other stuff from like before that.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the Pabst
like
Blue
these
Ribbon
3
one.
colors.
So Pabst Blue Ribbon, I actually did the contest for they do like every year they do an art contest for. Originally, it was for the can design, so artists would do like a design for their can.
Gotcha.
And then they added a multimedia category. So I won that contest in 2017. or no, 2018. Sorry, the years are blending together. But I won that, and then this project that you're viewing right now was like I worked on that throughout 2019 and like built that project out based on like a brief that we kind of came up with together of like character based on me walking through. And of course, they were like, "Oh, we love the stuff you did with a character on your Instagram." I had done one character. I'm not a character guy. And I was like, funny. "Oh, great. The one thing that I'm like not super good at." Yeah. So I worked like forever to get this like character of myself and like get him animated through these different worlds. And that was just kind of the concept of like finding your bar, I guess. So each world was supposed to be like a bar. So yeah, that was like just the second half of that project. Where the first half was just kind of me winning the contest, and then
So did you?
It's awesome.
Was that just like a contest that you saw, and you're like, all right, I'm going to enter that?
My friend Elijah, who's like another really good designer that I work with, he actually saw it and he was going to do the can design, so he told me about it, and we actually collaborated on the contest entry. He designed like the can. And the vending machine at the beginning of the video, there's like this PBR vending machine with like the can design on it. So he designed that and like helped me concept the whole thing and like kind of storyboard it out. And then I animated it and it ended up winning. So it was cool. And you know, it was like $10,000 prize for winning. So that was
That's
like
nice.
not bad at all. You know, like I spent like maybe on and off, not like a full 2 weeks, but 2 weeks actually building the full animation like here and there. And then this was back when I had like a 2070. So it literally took, I was out of town shooting a video and it literally took 4 solid days to render like a 30-second video. It was nuts, but yeah, we did it.
Oh yeah, I saw these characters ones that you did.
Yeah, tell me about the characters.
So I obviously watched Tiger King, and then I was trying, like I said before we started went live, like I'm trying to get a little better at character design and like
the Carol Baskins that's spot on.
That's my favorite one. Actually, the John Finley one is my favorite because I like the shape of just like the eyes and the head. I feel like are my favorite, but hers is probably the closest.
The hair looks really good.
Yeah, it was. I had to make the hair editable because I couldn't get some of the strands to stop intersecting with her face.
That's funny.
So I had to like make it editable and like delete a bunch of points. It was not fun, but I was just trying to get better at character stuff. And those, if you looked at the topology of those, they're an absolute mess. But you know what? It's fun.
Did you sculpt them?
Yeah, in Cinema I sculpted them and did like some like edge loop modeling, but you know, like I said, I'm just trying to get like a little more into that. So I made those, and then I'm actually probably going to do a couple more characters pretty soon, and do like the retopo process in Houdini, like actually make them good topology. But
you should check out the Polygon pen, you know, for retopo. Like you can actually do it. You can do it really quickly. I need to put out a video on it because I found a really good workflow for doing retopo for character stuff.
Yeah, I looked. I've watched Herrerasaurus is her Instagram name. She does insane character stuff. Watched her like she did a SIGGRAPH I think presentation or NAB or something like that, and it was like insane and like very helpful. But I try to like follow it, and I just don't like fully. I guess just all the loops that you need to have for a face are just like super like foreign to me. I probably need to watch some like fundamentals of that, you know?
Yeah.
What was I going to ask you? Houdini.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Houdini a little bit. So you've been digging into the course.
Scared of Houdini.
I am not anymore. I was terrified at first, but no. The course that you guys and Mark like put out is like so like helpful, comprehensive, like going into it from a Cinema 4D user perspective. Like anybody could definitely go in and watch it and grasp it, but like specifically, he talks a lot about workflow between Cinema 4D and Houdini. So that was super nice.
And you were already you were dabbling in Houdini before you even took the course, right?
Yeah, so I had downloaded Houdini Indie, the free one, and like I had started trying to use it. And like the problem was I was trying to follow tutorials, like even beginner tutorials, and I was like, legitimately the name "Don't Be Afraid of Houdini" or "Stop Being Afraid of Houdini" because like the tutorial scared me. I was like, what are you entering this like Vexpression and like typing out all these like codes and like what's a centroid and a V-box and all these things, and like the course from Mark was like just got all that stuff out of the way and was like, this is what that is, you know. And like he did a really good job for me. I enjoyed like him comparing like doing this setup is like this in Cinema 4D. Like this is what you would do in Cinema. This is a deformer over here, but it's this stream of nodes over here. So that was like super helpful. And now I feel like, okay, I've actually got a pretty decent grasp on like liquid stuff and like how to, at least starting from the shelf tools and using that. I'm like definitely not like even intermediate by any means, but I'm getting better at it and like just trying to use it for client work. And that's like really cool to be able to like tackle that basic stuff. And even if I'm just using the shelf tools and then adjusting them as I need for like a client project, it does a really good job of like kind of getting it out there. And like,
and that's one thing that I found with the course. Like I do end up using the shelf tools. You know, I'm like, where do I want to start? I don't want to build this whole rig. You know, because then I have to go back to the course and like, you know, walk through and figure out, you know, I just use the shelf tools. And because I've gone through the training and stuff like that, I kind of know where all the settings are. You know, I may not know necessarily how to build the rig versus like, I know where the settings are and I know what I need to adjust, you know.
You can follow the node path and trace it and figure out what's going on.
That was one of the things I felt like was the opposite of when people see Houdini, they're like, oh, this is so crazy, like it's so complicated. It is complex, but when you build a rig, like the node path is so logical. It's like this is where you start, and then this, and then this, and then this is applied. And you can see like the A, B, C, D, E of what you've done. And you can even add like the labels and stuff. But it's just a very like logical workflow. And I really enjoy that because it's like if I built something, I can go back and open it and then see what exactly I did. The course is super, super awesome. I would definitely like, if you're trying to get into it, I've suggested to everybody that's like, how did you learn this, or how are you learning this? So
what was it that drove you to want to get into Houdini?
I think just like, I really like the, like, I mean, to be honest, one of the like surface level things was just seeing all this insane content from
like
Man vs. Machine or ABC or anybody like that that's just like putting out great content and just being like, I know I can do this type of stuff in cinema, but I might as well also learn another tool. And I felt like, you know, it was like the beginning of 2019 when I wanted to start officially diving in, because I'd tried it last year and I didn't really have the time. And then recently, like I've just got like a little more free time doing just my client work and only focusing on the work that I have with my clients. So I was like, you know what, 2019, I'm just going to dive in and like try to learn this tool and just have it as another like thing in my arsenal to be able to utilize, you know. And I don't know if it's like technically like this is accurate, but I feel like a lot of things you do in Houdini, it runs faster. Like if you were to use X particles versus using Houdini for liquid sims, like I feel like it's just maybe built to handle those things quicker. So it was just running like if I did a liquid sim in Houdini versus X particles, it just runs way faster, and the Alembic export workflows.
When it comes, it's funny. So I've got a certain workflow that I'll do if I'm doing particles. You know, just like particles. I'll use X particles. You know, no reason to jump into Houdini for that. If I'm doing smoke, and I don't have TFD installed on my computer, I'll jump over to Houdini. You know, if I'm doing otherwise I'll jump over to Houdini, because if I'm doing water, RealFlow all the way. You know, because I've found that RealFlow is just a lot quicker, and you know, but Houdini for smoke and fire and like fracturing stuff, like fracturing stuff alone is so fast in Houdini.
And that, you know? Like the real surface or the real material fractures, whatever, you can fracture it like wood and it creates those like shards. It's insane. Like try doing that with a Voronoi fracture.
I know. I had to do that the other day, and it was basically like I wanted it shards of glass, you know? So I had to like stretch out my my disbursement or whatever.
Yep.
And then do it. You know.
Yeah.
So
it's very like it's just like nice to also be able to bring that in and you know, do something outside of Cinema 4D as well. Just kind of spread out my knowledge of like, you know, 3D.
Yep. Get to raise that rate because you know that stuff, right?
yeah, for sure.
Abraham's asking in the chat what course. We're talking about Stop Being Afraid of Houdini, which is
if you'd like to learn a little bit more, you can go to mograph.com/stopbeingafraidofhoudini or mograph.com/classes to check out more.
Yeah.
We have the first I believe it's the first chapter, right? Online for people to check out so you can kind of see, you know, his teaching style and, you know, kind of walk through one lesson, which that lesson that we've got up there for free is fantastic. Like that's the lesson that I have wanted, you know, forever.
Right.
Every time I jumped into Houdini, you know, it's one of those starter ones where it's just like, it shows you, you know, how to set a light, how to set a camera, how to do a texture, how to render it out. It's like all the basics that you need to know in order to do it, you know? So.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, is I like Mark's style of, you know, just teaching as well. I think when I buy a course, I 100% have to be okay with like the voice of the person because I'm going to be hearing it for 40 hours. So I was like, thank God he has like, you know, he's not like super monotone when he's teaching because like that'll ruin a course and it makes it very like, you know, understandable just like listening to that
for some courses you have to make sure that you can deal with them at half speed and some of them at double speed you know as well. Mark, I kind of learned to listen to at double speed because I was doing the editing on the thing, but I feel like I picked up stuff just from doing the course
just from editing
or just from editing the course. I mean, I've been able to hop into stuff.
So let me ask you this: what's you did the you kind of created this studio with your friends and stuff like that. You know, now you're running freelance. What's next? You know, like what's your 5-year plan? Come on, job interview. What's your 5-year plan?
No 5-year plan, unfortunately. Like I just literally like I want to be able to keep doing what I'm doing. To be honest, I feel like. I feel super grateful, just like lucky to be able to have the opportunities I've had, you know? And I try to remember that when I'm, you know, oh, I got a big job, got a, you know, good paying gig. Like, remember, hey, this is, you know, you're lucky to have this. And like, so I'm just really, I want to keep improving my skills and doing better work and, you know, ultimately, be able to charge more and kind of grow my client base. But I really just enjoy what I'm doing right now. And I like the way I work with the clients I have and like the work I'm producing, I feel like is getting better. Every time I do a project, I feel like it gets better. So really right now, my plan is just kind of keep going in the same trajectory that I'm in and not like sort of lose that momentum or that like desire to learn. I don't have like a lot of people like want to do, you know, film and get into like big production stuff. Like I feel like I am comfortable kind of doing the more like content based stuff. I just find it really satisfying to create something and have it like look at the final product. So I really just kind of want to keep, you know, getting better, keep doing more like work that is interesting to me, you know, like that's what I'm trying to also post more of my like, you know, Houdini stuff or more experimental stuff on Instagram rather than just posting the same style all the time and kind of show that I can do different styles other than just like the, you know, like a lot of my stuff's like very cute, colorful, poppy, which is cool. I love doing that stuff for clients as well, but I do want to, you know, branch out and do like more like complex projects as well.
And as soon as you post, you know, one sim that you did in Houdini, your client's going to be like, oh yeah, we want to do that. And you're like, oh crap. You got to figure that out now.
What's the dream project for you?
I mean, I sound like a basic ass 3D person, but I'd love to work for like, you know, Nike or Adidas or like do a cool like shoe brand. But another thing would be like a technology company that's like, you know, like I know like that's probably out of reach right now, but like doing like a graphics card or like a phone or something like that. That's like just you get to play with all those cool like that's just like the ideal like landscape to just like play around with all these cool things. You know, like the phones and like the technology, stuff like that is really cool.
That's cool.
So what do you plan on doing in the future? Do you plan on doing, besides the Instagram stuff and you're just posting, you know, what you're learning, do you have any plans to do a short or some sort of I don't know, anything like that, anything kind of long form project, you know, 6 months, that kind of thing?
As of right now, no. I've on the short front, I've wanted to do something like that in the past. I've wanted to do like just kind of art piece that's, you know, like a longer like piece, but kind of put that on pause. I feel like I want to do, right now I'm trying to do like some tutorials for beginners, because I feel like a lot of the people that I'm engaging with on Instagram, of like my followers, they ask how to do like this or how to do that. It's like very simple techniques, and I'm like, I know there's tons of tutorials out there. I'd love to do my part in kind of educating of just like, hey, this is how you do this, or this is a quick way to do that. So I've posted a couple like tutorials on my YouTube, and I'm trying to like do those at least once a month and just get like basic concepts or like things that I've learned out now that I'm good, like have a good grasp on like cinema and Octane and things like that. And then
because of your Instagram following, you'll have 100 times more subscribers than we will in like your first month.
Yeah, I mean, it's slower for sure than growing on Instagram, but you know, like the tutorials are getting decent amount of views for just having started the YouTube channel and stuff like that. But
for sure.
Also, like, I think I'm really interested right now in the like live stream, like Twitch live stream format, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's sort of like I watch Chris Schmidt's Rocket Lasso live stream. It's like every week. I love just turning that on, and like while I'm working, I'll kind of tune into that. It's like educational. He'll just answer questions of how would you do this technique in cinema. Stuff like that is really cool because it's like a new format that it isn't a podcast and it isn't really like a tutorial. It's kind of both combined
in between.
So I like the idea of that. Just kind of, it's really casual. Like everybody kind of hangs out in the chat, just talks and like.
And there's you'd be surprised just like watching someone work, how many little tidbits you pick up along the way.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's like you would only really learn, and if you're working for yourself, you know. That can be hard to pick up those little tidbits because a lot of that stuff you would learn working in a studio environment and stuff, you know?
That's 100% what it is, because I've never worked in a 3D studio with other 3D like motion designers around me. I've only worked with like designers, web developers, like photographers, people that don't know Cinema 4D, and they're all super creative and we can jam on like creative ideas, but we don't. Like if I can't like turn to somebody and be like, hey, how would you do this in cinema? So having that is like, you pick up on those little things, and having never done I never went to school of motion and did that when I first started, you know? So it's nice to have that sort of like just watching somebody work and like picking up on those little things that you're like, oh my God, like a year and a half ago, like I was watching, it was when I went to the event y'all had in Austin, the tour, and I was watching EJ do his thing, and like most of the stuff I was like, like I'm familiar with this, but I had never used XRefs or spline masks or something like that, and I was like, oh my God, like I've never seen that for some reason, and that would solve so many things in my workflow, but I just didn't know it was there because I'd never had like a formal like step-by-step of everything within Cinema 4D, you know? So watching stuff,
I don't know how much XRefs save time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for when I've got like 10 project files with one product, and I change the product texture on one, then I got to go and do it in all of them. That you know, little thing like that. I know the technical side of that, they could be made easier, but you know, stuff like that you don't really learn until you see it in action is cool.
I mean, like I for the longest time, I mean, it's been a long time since I learned it, but for the longest time when I first started, I didn't realize you could do math inside of all the number fields. You know, it's like,
that's nice.
Oh, you want to multiply this by 10? Okay, just type it. You know?
I think you can do that in After Effects now.
I think they added it recently.
Yeah, which is awesome.
So nice.
I always like that. Even when you're changing resolutions.
Yeah.
You could say times 2, so you don't have to get your calculator out.
Yeah. Super nice.
Yeah.
Or what was the other thing that took me a while to learn?
Num.
Num. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Num.
Where you it will pick a random number based on anything, so you can select a whole bunch of things. Type in NUM into whatever parameter,
and it'll do a
random number.
There's something else that I saw someone do, and it was during the event that the NAB live event, C40 Live. It was something Noseman was doing, something, and I can't remember what it was now. It's like where you've got like 10 boxes, and you want to move each one. They're all in the same place. Like you get 10 cubes and they're all exactly the same. And you want to push each one an extra 10 inches.
Yeah.
It's like num plus something or something.
Plus percent or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. I need to go look it up now because there's like 2 times I could have used it recently. And I was like, oh man, what is that? What are you supposed to type?
Yeah.
There's a lot of little stuff like that.
Yeah.
I learned from Chris Schmidt that you could set defaults. I mean, I've seen it there, but I've never really thought about it.
Dude,
so like
something that changed my entire workflow, going into the parameters and changing my default material to an Octane material. Like, so now I just double click and it changes it to an Octane material. It's like,
there you go. I didn't know you could do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, well, it used to be it was a lot easier to get to a Cinema 4D material. Now it's kind of buried in like 3 different submenus.
Yeah.
So that helps. And then just being able to take like, let's say you've got an extrude a bool. When you have a bool, basically I learned from Chris Schmidt, you basically want all your settings turned on by default when you do a bool. You might have to turn
like
one off, but generally. Yeah, hide new edges, high quality, all of that. So you turn it all on, and then you click on everything, and you right click, and you say set default. And from that point on, it's just like that.
Oh.
Right, and that happens with like any tool that you find yourself always turning something on every time you use it. Just right click on that setting and say set default.
Except for
it's
plugins.
So easy.
I don't know if you can do it with certain plugins, but
right.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Just like little things like that, where are you going to learn that other than just kind of finding it,
right,
or one of those courses.
Right. And you reach a certain point. Like I think this is one reason why, watching some of these NAB presentations or SIGGRAPH presentations or going to them and watching them, or watching the live streams and stuff is so important because, you'll get to this point in your career or within, working in a program where it's like, once you go to a tutorial, you're skipping through looking for the right, the thing, thing, the 5-second thing that you need, and it's like, you won't go through
TLDR.
You won't go through and watch, the little nuances that help make something good, or that will improve your workflow and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's whenever when I first started watching y'all's podcast, I asked like in the email thing, like the questions submit thing, I asked like, what's the purpose of going to these events and stuff like that? Like, is it worth it? I feel like obviously now we're not going to have one for a while, but whenever we end up having another NAB or like SIGGRAPH, I feel like I'm definitely going to like go to that and like just be able to like watch those types of things, but then also chat with people after the fact and just being more like connected with other motion designers, past the point of
the community part of it is hard to maintain. I mean, we're all like on Slack and whatnot, but like that was such a heavy thing that we don't have this year.
I've noticed a huge amount, like not just me but others are very depressed by the fact that we're stuck. Like, I'm a social butterfly. I like getting out and meeting people, like when Beeple wants to throw a party, he calls us up, or puts us on the thing that we're throwing a party without us knowing, and it's like, that's kind of,
sponsored by Mograph.
That's a little bit what we're known for. And like, for us not to be able to do that, man, it's kind of, it's a little depressing.
It's given me so much time to concentrate on content for the site this year, though.
But I'll tell you what, we're saving a ton of money.
Oh my gosh, for real.
Oh man.
The amount of money that we haven't spent on events and like travel and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like,
we got like no overhead this year.
Right.
I know.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
It's good, and we felt very, very fortunate, during the crisis to have enough work to keep us going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And has that affected you?
Yeah, no,
I'm sure it has, but I mean, like, how is that going?
Yeah, like I said, or like you said, like we're super lucky in this industry, at least some of us, to like not really be as affected. Like I haven't really had. There was right when it happened, all the clients that I had been working with were getting adjusted to the like work from home, and like some people were getting laid off. So that's that affected for a couple weeks there. Like my clients wouldn't be able to respond, or projects had to get delayed or extended, but at this point, it's pretty much kind of picked back up to normal. And like, I feel super lucky to have that experience with it, because I know so many people are like friends of mine are, service industry people, and they're just like completely out on their ass right now. Just like like they have the stimulus or whatever, but like that's just I'm glad
that was spent a while ago.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Like I'm just like I'm lucky that we don't. I mean, I haven't had to deal with that much like craziness other than the shift from working at my studio to working at home. But yeah, it's interesting. Like interesting time for sure.
Once this whole thing's over, once there's a vaccine, we're gonna throw a big rager. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We have a vaccine party. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, we'll have a vaccine party. Yeah.
Count me out on that for a little while. Wait and see what the long-term health effects are. That
I'm gonna put it out there. We'll have a vaccine by September.
Oh, I think that's maybe optimistic, but we'll see.
Probably after the election.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You don't want people feeling good about going to the polls, right? So, let's talk about a couple links real quick. I've got a few here, and then we're going to go into the Mograph recommend section. First link, I had a good discussion with Teddy Gage this week. We're hanging out on Skype, and we were talking about Unreal a little bit. I guess I missed the fact that he did a little game just as like practice in Unreal, and it's called What's It Like Outside Again?
Is that on the iPhone or?
And it's for the computer. It's on Gumroad. So you can check it out there. It's called Adventure Hike, and I'll see if I can bring it up. I'm not going to run it. Unfortunately, I had an issue opening it, and I'm sure it probably had to do with my drivers. The whole thing about my driver situation and my Unreal situation, there's still something that's not working correctly. So I'll open Unreal, and like my Oculus software will open and all of that. I'll send it to you here in the chat, and I'll bring it up on the screen so you can see here. At least has like a screenshot or whatever. So there we go. What's It Like Outside Again? The game, Alpine Lake version 1. Literally like third-person gaming action, RTX on. Get it for free with the code RADScience. It says right here. Secret trees. I did not paint anything by hand. Oh, and you can never exit. It's just like a running game. Yeah, this was just kind of like a proof of concept test, and I like that idea. I think I did that a long time ago. Remember, I made the
person gaming action. Come on, Teddy, it's third, not thirth.
What does it say?
Thirth person gaming action.
Thirth. Maybe that's a new trend. Maybe that's a new. You don't know the style. You're not hip with the kids.
It may break. Please don't send me death threats.
Oh, is he watching right now?
No, that's what the instructions say.
Oh, that's funny.
You can't find every rock.
It broke for me.
Even has menu.
But you can't find every rock. That's pretty good.
It took me 2 days to figure out how to invert your mouse.
Oh man, it's stuff like that. Yeah, my daughter was going through and doing some Unreal stuff, and I felt bad just because everything broke on me.
Yeah.
Like all the code went to hell, and I couldn't figure out. I don't know. She was still ready to go. She was still raring to go, and I couldn't make the software work for her. I felt bad.
That's kids for you, man. Once they find something they like, they are in it. You know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
every week
mine
it's
just
something
likes
different
TV.
for my daughter. Also, the Mega Scans, is free in Unreal. So Mega Scans, this video, Mega Scans in UE4, photoreal environment creation, and I know like Aryev hit me up. He's been working with some Mega Scans in Cinema 4D. This is really cool. This is kind of tutorial on how to use it because there's the whole library is there.
Yeah.
To use and
it's for free.
Very very cool.
Free to use.
Yeah, like it's part of. They bought them actually, I believe. So that's why. So you can see what you do here is you just like paint stuff on. It seems very straightforward and. So I'm looking for a minute of free time. How long is this? 22 minutes.
22 minutes of free time.
22 minutes of me pausing 1,000 times. You know what I mean? So like, but like here's a box, and I believe I saw this part here. Like, it kind of works like Substance Painter.
Yeah.
You've got the different layers and stuff, and you can just update it, to
That's
fit
crazy.
your environment and whatnot. So definitely worth checking out. I think I'm going to check it out.
Man.
I feel like this is the future.
Things have changed so much since back in the day when you had to UV unwrap and then, take it into Photoshop and load it back up. And man, it's
I know.
It's awesome. I love what we're doing nowadays. Like seriously,
It's
everything's
definitely-
so much easier. I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, I was in Octane doing some renders and stuff, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, if I had what I have now, like 6 or 7 years ago when I was doing the original Octane renders, it's like my boss would not have hated everything that I did. Well, he's not my boss. He was just a salesman.
Yeah.
But I'm not bitter.
Also,
he got fired. Who cares?
I got a link here now to Houdini Mark's new reel too. His 2020.
Oh
reel.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen it yet?
No.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
That real
pretty
dough.
good stuff. That real dough. All the Unreal, all the Houdini stuff. And all the threads,
all the threads,
all the fly knit. Man, this looks great.
Yeah,
it sucks because like this is there's so much compression in video, so you really want to get a good glimpse of these, and it's just
that's one thing that I found with people who are like really big in X particles and their reels.
It's very hard to show. Yeah,
it's like it's you can't that's a really hard reel to watch on YouTube.
Because even if you get the compression just right on your end, then you give it to them and they like re-encode it and just kill it. So and it's especially hard on certain platforms. I think Facebook.
Ooh, that was
Facebook
sexy.
is like particularly bad.
Yeah, Instagram is the worst for compression of videos.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah,
that's so sick. I have no words. I have no idea how.
I know.
That's just like already making one of those. Like I did a while ago. I tried to make one of those like impossible triable Mobius strip things.
Yeah,
and then to add fluid simulation into it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
Okay, well, that's insane.
I mean, you could fake it technically,
like with masking, but like I saw that on his Behance. I was like, I don't think this is like masked.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah, that MC Escher type stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been doing that lately.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm also going to show off this last link is Gavin Whelan. This is the guy who sent in his reel. And man, I got to say, pretty cool.
This is our reel of the week The Mograph reel of the week. We haven't done that in a long time.
Reel of the week. I know. This is actually
it's been
mostly...
a couple years since we've done a reel of the week.
Right. Reel of the 3D Max. Most of this is actually 3D Max and Substance and Arnold.
Yeah.
You know. So that's interesting. So I'm going to bring this up here. The thing that I like about it is the fact that, you know, there's a bunch of Orville stuff in here.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
You know, now he writes everything at the bottom, what he did, you know, asset and look development, you know, or lead artist or whatever it is, you know. So there's some just massive projects in here for some really big shows.
Yeah.
Again, Orville, there was what else I see in there for Preacher. I mean, holy crap! Look at the pyro and Sims and everything in this.
You know, and it is like here's so the awesome thing. It's like this is TV shows. You know, it's like
it's all TV shows. It's like Designated Survivor.
This is what we're. This is you know, these are. It doesn't take as many people and as much work and like you know. In order to accomplish,
you can do it from your house.
Right, exactly. Like in order to accomplish something that just looks absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. You know?
Even when we start doing stuff again, I feel like there's going to be a lot more green screen type stuff because it'll be a situation where they're like, all right, well, we need somebody doing this, and this, or these two people acting out this part. We're going to have them do it on a green screen to keep it clean.
Yeah.
And to have minimal amount of crew.
Yeah.
Things like that. Don't you feel like it's going to be more of that? Like we could have done it practically, but we're not going to. Mm-hmm. You know, just to keep people a little bit social distance for a while.
I don't know. It depends on where you're at. I think yeah. California, they're locking up, you know.
Right.
Texas, we're not. Like we're ready to go back to work.
Business as usual.
It is. Dude, we went to Target yesterday, right? And Amy was really worried. She's like, we should wear masks. And I'm like, there's no reason we need to wear a mask. We already had coronavirus, you know? It's not like we're going to get it again. You know,
I heard you can get it again.
So soon after, though. So soon.
Or you
like
can still transmit it or something?
Like a month and a half, 2 months after, you know? No. I read somewhere that said that you could still test positive for it and not be able to transmit it after like 11 days, you know? But anyway, so it's like, you know, it's like now we go out, we put the masks on specifically so that people don't yell at us, you know,
right?
Or like don't judge us because we're not wearing masks. It's like you don't know my background, you don't know me, you know,
you don't know my style.
Yeah,
no, you need to have a shirt that said I already had corona,
right,
or something,
and it's a beer.
That's why I don't have a mask on.
Everybody starts running away,
right?
I see you.
Well,
I thought about making some corona joke in that video.
What?
I thought about making some corona joke in that video, but I decided against it.
Yeah, then you date it. Then you
right, exactly. That's why I didn't do it.
But the thing is, like, we went out, you know, Texas, it's business as usual, you know? Like, there was maybe 10% of the population that we saw at Target wearing a mask.
Yeah.
You know? Numbers are going to go up, you know, we're going to shut down again. Maybe. I don't know.
It's all those 5G towers.
Oh yeah.
That's 5G.
So fired.
It's 5G towers, man. Causing all that corona. Yeah.
In case y'all don't know, Dave is joking. Please point out the fact that you're joking.
Don't email me. Yes.
I mean, email him if you want.
No, then I'll get the people emailing me who say that it is true.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You got people on both sides.
And here's the thing, like, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I say shut things down as much as you can, but also like, I don't know, for the people who have had it, I'm fine now, you know. I'm okay with going on with my day, but I also understand that, like, you know, people are trying to be safe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, let's go to Mograph recommends.
Can I pee real quick?
You go ahead and you do that.
I will do that. All right, I'll be right back.
I wish you would. All right, we're going to start with your favorite movie.
Right. I love Pixar movies because obviously they're amazing, but like Toy Story is great. The WALL-E is probably my favorite Pixar. Also a huge Star Wars fan. You know, I like the new ones. I don't know, that's maybe some people don't, but I love the continuation of the story, and I like all the spin-offs as well. But non-VFX based favorite would be Goodfellas. Just really like getting into Scorsese and all of his stuff right now. Big fan of that.
Cool. And what about music?
So I am a weird person that doesn't really listen to that much music. I'm like, I know everybody thinks like there's something wrong with me when I tell them that, but I just like, I've never been a music like building a playlist or getting really into a specific artist, which I know is like crazy to most people. So I like lo-fi. I like some like, you know,
chill hop stuff.
Yeah, I like that. I like Tame Impala is good. I like, you know, good, like I like music. I just don't really like have specific artists that I like cultivate and have like this big, like, I love music, or like these specific people. So I know that's a little weird, but I mean, I spend most of my time.
That is pretty random.
I know, it's so like, I was gonna be like, hey, just don't ask me about music. It's just everybody's like, what? You don't listen to music?
Do you listen while you're working?
No.
Like to the chill hop and stuff, or you don't?
Sometimes. If I'm like, if it's late, yeah. But like, I like listen to a lot of podcasts, and I like, you know, I like enjoy silence too. Sometimes it helps me focus.
Yeah.
If I'm doing anything with like text animation, I can't listen to music at all, even if it's like no lyrics. So super weird.
All right then.
Yeah.
What about TV show? And these can be, you know, right now, currently, or in general, like overall favorite. So
yeah, I mean, I wrote down whenever I got the list originally from you of questions, I was thinking Westworld, because I love like, you know, the story of it. The last season was kind of like a disappointment, so kind of iffy on
really.
I thought it was
really season 3.
I thought it was good, but it wasn't like, and I giving it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's a bridge season, you know, like it's set up for a really good season 4, but I just thought season 3 was kind of like it looked amazing. Obviously, like the like visuals were fantastic, but I don't think it compared to season 1 and 2. Like with Anthony Hopkins,
I kind of get that.
You know,
it's. I mean, I kind of get that in the fact that like it's different, and but I did feel like the first 2 or 3 episodes were particularly really good. Like they could have almost stood on their own as movies. You know?
Yeah, I think for sure the beginning of the season was very good. I loved like introducing Sirach and all the like the whole new world. I loved the introduction of all of that. It was very like well made, but I just thought like the later half of the season, I was like, I think Maeve's character got a little derivative of her own character, you know? Like she comes in with the snappy one-liners, and then, you know. Yeah,
but I feel like there are people who like Westerns, and there are people who don't like Westerns.
Right.
And
what show
is this?
Westworld.
Oh,
okay.
The people who like Westerns enjoy the first couple seasons more.
Right.
The people who aren't big on Westerns actually are liking, like me, are liking the fact that it's becoming more like full-on sci-fi.
Yeah, I enjoy that for sure.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think season 4 is going to be great. I think. I just feel like this was a little bit of a bridge season. You know, like. Yeah. I really I think Sirach's character was like awesome. Like that whole him having
spoilers.
Man, you gotta watch this shit.
I do,
Come
dude.
on
Like
now.
I'm in Animal Crossing zone right now. I've
know.
invested like 150 hours into Animal Crossing. So
yeah,
I like.
Think about what you could be doing with that time.
No idea about Animal Crossing, but I hear it. Have you seen those memes? It's like picture of like animals on like a road, and it's like the animals when they're crossing. I don't know. I don't play the game.
I haven't seen that.
It's
at what point do they cross?
Yeah, there's like it's like a picture of space, and there'll be like 2 hands with guns, and it's like the stars during the wars. I don't know. I didn't watch Star Wars.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lame meme.
Do the animals cross each other? Do they cross the
Sometimes.
sea? Are they going across certain things? Do they fight?
Phoebe and Bubbles, they were going at it the other day. They were not happy with each other. And Bubbles, I want Bubbles to move off my island. I give her like old boots and tires that I find that I accidentally fish up, because I want her to leave. I don't know
what that means.
I have no idea any of this.
Are these people that are on everybody's?
So there's like a bunch of characters, built into the game, and you start off and like 2 characters have moved to your island, and then more characters move to your island, So like I've got Phoebe and Leonardo and Bubbles and Lily and who's my favorite? What's his name?
See, I did this the right way.
Clay. Clay's my favorite. I bought it for my daughter. Hamster. Oh, but Clay is the best. If Clay ever moves, I bought it for my daughter so I could just see it. I don't know. I just can't. Like, even in regular video games, Halo, Grand Theft Auto, I can only play it for so long. People hit me up and he said, "Hey, are you still playing Animal Crossing?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm playing it right now." He's like, "Hey, can my daughter come to your island?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, dude, totally."
That's what I did too. Like, I sent my daughter to your island to gather supplies.
I was like, "What do you got? How long you been playing?" He's like, I've been playing for like a month." And so I'm thinking, "Oh, he's pretty far along." I was like, and he's like, "Oh no, I haven't even paid off my first house yet." And I was like, "Oh, dude, I already got the basement. I'm in debt for the rest of my life." Oh my God. So he came over and like I gave his daughter like a ladder so she could climb up to different areas, and we threw her like 30 pieces of iron because that's the hardest thing to do when you're first starting. And then I threw him a wand so that he could change his outfits and stuff. And then he was like, he said, "My house looks like a crack house because I don't have anything in there and I haven't even paid the first one off." So I threw him basically $100,000 in the game. I said, "Here, go pay off your house." So it was funny.
Big ballin'.
Right?
Yeah, just toss them
selling them turnips, yo.
I can't do it for that long, man.
Here's the thing, like
that's just so much commitment.
Here's the thing, and what's fun is that like me and Amy will play it together. Because we both have this, since it's one Switch, we both are on the same island. We both have our own house and we can play together. So at night, we can't, we're in quarantine. We can't leave the house. We can't go out. We can't go on dates, but we go on Animal Crossing dates. And it's fun.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're so corny.
It's like Farmville, right?
It is like, except you're not like, you're not. Well, you're breeding flowers and stuff like that, and growing
crops.
Trees. No, but there's no crops. There's the turnips that you buy from Daisy May, who has a giant piece of snot hanging from her nose, which is really gross. And so you buy them, and then you hopefully sell them later, which I discovered Turnip Exchange, and so you go to a random person's island and sell them for like 600 bells and make millions of dollars. Last week we made $8 million. It was awesome.
Wow. That's confusing.
Anyway,
to say the least.
Enough about Animal Crossing.
You should start your own podcast just to talk about Animal Crossing.
No, if I was going to start my own podcast, it would be all about cereal.
Oh, okay.
It would be the cereal podcast where I review
the cereal podcast, but that's been taken already.
Yeah,
cereal review.
Cereal review.
Unboxing, if you will.
My phone thought I was talking to Siri.
No.
Because I said cereal. Whoops. I kind of do the same thing with Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
you do. I got my yacht the other day.
Yeah.
Finally got a yacht.
Did you see Epic was giving away Grand Theft Auto
and all that? Yeah, Grand Theft Auto Online is like free now or something. And wait, why? I don't understand Epic.
Epic, I think, has been giving away all these games for free.
But it's Rockstar Games.
Yeah, but Epic, it's the Epic Store or something. Free. I think it's trying to steal stuff away from Steam. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's how it was working.
Yeah.
That's one game that I did play a little bit. Was Grand Theft Auto 5. I loved that one. But I didn't play it like religiously. I just like going around and like stealing jets and shit like that.
Yeah.
See, I would.
But once you get on online and you start buying stuff, like, and you have like all the flying gears, you can have like stuff delivered to you on the fly and like take off, and you've got like, your own apartment, your own nightclub, and your own garage with all your cars.
This is Animal Crossing, just with less violence.
Exactly, but the thing is, the graphics are better, but I cannot, even with that, I cannot spend the amount of time. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go jump in cinema.
Dude, it's like 2 kids and no sleep, barely, because, dude, last night the kid he was up at 2, he was up at 4, and then he was up at 6, and he did not go back to sleep until like 10 today. It's like, the us both working and trying to get the kid to do all the stuff. It's like that is the only time we have to relax, and it's like it is such a, like, you can just turn your brain off and just terraform for 2 hours. It's awesome.
There you go.
Terraform.
Yeah, dude, I built
that was the other thing.
I built this beautiful, like, I'm in the process of building this beautiful, like, Zen garden full of, like, bamboo and, like, waterfalls and stuff. It's awesome.
But you can terraform it to your own desire now?
Yeah. Well, once you get to a certain point in the game, once KK Slider comes to your island and sings his song, then they introduce terraforming.
Then you can make the island look like a dick butt.
Yes, then you can make it look like a dick butt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
The only thing I wish you could do, like, more islands. You're stuck to that one island unless you erase your game and start all over, which sucks. Even if you were to buy another copy of the game, like, you can't. You'd have to have an entirely new Switch. Yeah.
My question is, when is a new freaking Mario Kart going to come out? Come on.
Oh, no, they won't do another Mario Kart.
Let's get a new Mario Kart.
They won't do another Mario Kart until there's a new system. Those tracks are so
played out, though.
Yeah, for you, who plays everything 200cc.
Yeah, I can play all the things at 200cc. Like, I want something new.
Yeah.
Why can't they just come out with some new tracks or something?
Yeah.
Get me back into it.
Right.
You got to get me hooked. You got to get me buying that DLC, yo. Hook me.
Yeah.
Give me the stuff. All right, where were we? Podcast. What podcasts do you listen to?
I like a lot of comedy podcasts. Listen to Joe Rogan and Your Mom's House, just like obnoxious, like, comedians just, like, shooting the shit. So I like those.
Did you hear Joe Rogan sold to Spotify?
Yeah, for $100 million. Well, he didn't sell. He signed an exclusivity deal.
Yeah.
Exclusive, though. That sucks. We're not going to be able to see him on YouTube now? Is that what that means?
Yep.
Yeah, but, I mean, I get it. I feel like that's probably because of, like, demonetization and stuff like that. But, I mean, $100 million is what it's YouTube's estimated fault. At. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it going to be video on Spotify?
Yeah, it will.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he said the video version will be on Spotify, so I guess that's a new thing.
See if we can get our video version on Spotify.
Yeah,
too.
I was going to say, is that going to be like a new thing?
I would assume they're going to start rolling that in, like, you can do video podcasts on Spotify, because they haven't. I haven't seen that before, but yeah, that'll be interesting.
I want to get on that.
Yeah.
I
like just like comedian podcasts a lot, and then like I watch the live streams, like Rocket Lasso and Shams live stream, just like fun to go on and kind of like interact and watch people work, do the same type of stuff that I'm doing, and learning from that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the snake she did the other day. The snake and the motherboard.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the live stream stuff's really cool. I'm trying to find more of those, and then maybe eventually like kind of do something similar to that. But yeah, that's pretty much like the podcast and like live stream stuff that I tune into. So.
Cool. Plugin is next. What plugin besides your render engine?
So like Turbulence FD is obviously a good one for smoke stuff. X Particles, Forester. These are all like pretty common. I found one from Alpha Pixel called Respline that I've been using lately.
Sounds familiar. What is that?
It does like live. You can do. It's basically like a whole nother set of like tools that are. It can take like an object and generate a spline from the edges without making it editable, which is really nice because you can go and change the actual like.
Holy cow, that's cool!
It's a really cool one. I use it a lot for like if I need a edge spline and I don't want to like you could instance a 3D object and then put it in put the instance in a respline, and you could select specific like edges and things like that to generate like sweeps and things like that from the spline. So I was looking for it because I needed a basically edge to spline function without making it editable. So that's kind of what I found. So they've got like you could do edge to spline.
So what you can do is you can actually put a correction deformer on your thing, and then select your edge, and then do edge to spline, and then delete your correction deformer. Right.
I think I needed it, and it was pretty slow once I did this, but I think I needed it to map the edge of a moving object.
Oh.
And it can take that edge and it'll deform as the object would deform.
Oh, that's cool. That's
so
cool.
It was like I can't remember the specific use that I needed it for, but they've got like the Respline has a bunch of different like tools within the plugin that's got.
Is this Merc? Wait a minute.
One.
Oh, this is Merc.
Is it Merc?
It says developed by Merc.
Oh.
So are they selling it on
maybe
this site? That's interesting. Does he sell it on his site directly? I'll have to go see.
I don't know. That's where I found it, bought it from. So
I could have used that trim one a few weeks ago.
There's some cool ones in there for sure. It just definitely solved the issue I was facing, and then I found some specific uses for it. Is it right? Cool. Yeah. Okay. It's by
he's got it up. It's the first thing. Gotcha. I wonder if this is new. Is this new?
I don't know.
I feel like I got it last year.
Yeah.
Fall of last year.
Have you seen the Polygreeble or whatever? Like he's got like a 2.0 version. That's so cool. It's so cool.
Man.
That's awesome.
I got to play with more of these for fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad Merc's doing well and he's back at it. Again with the white vans.
Yeah. Back at it again.
Yeah, that's
all right. What about headphones?
Oh, well, I have one more for Houdini, which is Mops.
Mops, yeah.
That's like I discovered it after the course, obviously, which I'm glad I did because I learned a little bit of like how to do the stuff they do. But then I forget who's that from. It's not in Tagma. It's
not in Tagma.
Else, but it's basically like motion operators. It's like a whole nother set of tools that is similar to the Mograph tools in Cinema 4D. So like cloners or like easy vertex maps, and you can use they basically have a whole set of like effectors essentially that you can affect clones with. That's definitely one I wanted to mention for anybody that's doing Houdini, like very helpful.
Yeah, cool. Mops people talk about Mops a lot, the motion operators, but like, it's not specifically. I mean, side effects should just buy them out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But headphones.
Yeah.
I've got Sony MDR 7506 headphones.
Oh yeah, the old 75R406.
Oh yeah, those.
I don't know. They're like super basic Sony headphones, but my buddy gave me these pads from his Shure headphones. They're like super nice, like pillows for my ears.
So you got some hybrid going on.
Yeah, so I just took the old pads off and put these on, and it's like a whole new experience. But cool. I'm like not a huge audio guy, so I don't really like, care too much about the quality like most people do. And a lot of times I just use my AirPods. Like if I'm ever on a video chat, I just like.
Yeah.
Now what about app?
Is this like 3D app? Like
no, like iPhone app.
No, on your phone. Like your go-to iPhone app.
iPhone app. Well, this is a not just an iPhone app, but I use Notion. It's a note
Notion
taking software, and it's computer and app and iPad and everything. But it's super like not intricate. It's like very simple to use, but it's like a very cool like note app that you can like send. You could do a creative brief. I use it for like a lot of creative briefs, and I just like sing.
Kind of like Evernote, like
but I find it more like they're updating it specifically more for creatives and dev people, so you can do like full blown like spreadsheets and everything. Like my friend Cody uses it like to organize all of his stuff. I'm not quite as like into it, but it's very like
that's cool,
useful. So.
Yeah, it looks very similar to like Dropbox Paper or something.
Yeah, mixed with like to-do
Trello
list.
or something like that. Yeah. Interesting.
Thinking of actually of apps specifically for iPhone, there's game Alpha Putt. You've probably heard of it. That I got. It's like, who made it? It was a motion designer and obviously like a game dev group or something. But it was it's like super. It's a golf. It's like a putt game. Yeah, that's it. And all the maps are so sick. Like he designed all the maps. And
they're all letters.
Yeah, you can find who made it, but it's an alphabet putting like putt game. It's like fun mostly because I just love looking at it. You know, I like the mini golf aspect of it, but it's just like beautifully designed. So that's a fun.
Yeah, they look like your alphabet series.
Isometric, like
yeah. Cool. That's great.
I like this Notion
and then the last
thing.
one.
I'm gonna have to try this out.
Yeah,
this is really the tough one. This is life hack.
Yes. I had no good life hacks other than one that has nothing to do with anything, and that is,
all right,
if you clean off your plate right after you eat, you never have to do the dishes.
It's true.
It's true.
I mostly thought of that because my roommate is, not too into that.
That's funny.
No good life hacks for me. Sorry, just that one.
Get a dog and put the rest of your food on the ground on your plate, and you'll never have to
lick
clean
the plate. Yeah. Lick the plate clean, and then just reuse it. Just gotta give it a little rinse. Yeah,
that's funny.
My latest life hack is sugar-free candy gives you gas. A lot of people don't know that.
That's why is that a life hack? Is that if you want gas?
So that you know not to eat a lot of sugar-free candy. Okay. Most people, they saw a bunch of sugar-free candy, they'd be like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. They keep eating it.
Yeah, see.
If they don't know the hidden dangers of sugar-free candy.
I don't eat sugar-free candy. I
don't know really eat candy that much.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat like Rice Krispie treats and stuff. You know,
cereal,
Twix bars, cereal. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but there's better sugar-free candies coming out right now. That's my problem. Stovers or whatever, they make some Russell Stovers. They make some really good like York peppermint patties and caramel turtle things, and these toffee things that are just like Heath bars, but it's all sugar-free. They're dangerous.
How many is too many?
Yeah, what is the tipping point?
It's hard to say.
Where the gas becomes uncontrollable.
In my research, I will say I probably had like 6 or 7 pieces of these big pieces last night, and that was too much.
Gotcha.
Let's just say at 5:30 in the morning, I had to get up.
Yeah,
wasn't
threshold for error.
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah. All right,
so
life hack: stay away from sugar-free candy.
Yeah.
The
more you know.
Yeah, only have like 1 or 2 and call it a day.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. I think we're at the end. I think that's it. I think we're done.
Travis, thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Can't wait to hang
guys.
out again.
It's
been too long.
Yeah, we were like gonna hang out right as all this started at the anniversary party for ABC, and then just all down. The world fell apart.
I'm telling you. Once the vaccine comes out, this thing's gonna be a rager.
Yeah,
I'm going up to ABC next week. I'm gonna go say hi.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Are they reopened fully?
I think so, but like with some social distancing stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. I'm clean.
I just keep imagining. I see all these photos that Barton is posting. Of the place empty, and I'm just imagine that he's like,
studio, though.
Yeah,
he's sitting there in this gorgeous studio, just staring out the window, like.
Touching the glass.
It's like when you get a new
glass,
puppy
just waiting
or a
for
new
people
baby,
to come.
and you just take a bunch of pictures of it. You know?
Yeah. Speaking of which, Ryan, have you all seen Ryan Talbot's like his screenshots of that film, the short film he's making?
No.
Which one?
Oh my god! Like he's posted just a couple like.
Is this on Instagram?
His story, on his story only. He's been on the past 2 weeks. I've been chatting with him because we've been trying to hang out because he moved here and stuff. Like, he doesn't live too far, but he's been posting some screenshots of like this little short film he's been working on for 2 weeks, and like the screenshots look insane. I'm like, how? Like this little drone he posted like a little clip of it. But yeah, definitely check that out. It looks like it's going to be fire.
That's cool.
I'm looking. I don't see any.
I think he just posted it on his story.
Let's see one little thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Stories right now
on Digital Melon.
Yeah.
It's like
Digital Melon.
This is like his.
Yeah.
It looks.
Problem is, I'm in the browser. It's always.
Such a browser.
It looks insane, but yeah, I just
browser.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up on my my app later on. I can't see it. I'm looking through stories and I don't see anything in my feed. Oh wait, I might have it. Oh, here we go. He's got some crystals.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Shams will like that.
So that's it, huh?
Yeah, that's the preview. I think he said next week.
No more cool stuff. Cool. Man.
I saw that. I was like, dude, that was insane. He posted a clip, like a short clip from it last week, and I was like, what is this? But it looks awesome.
Cool. Now, if people want to find you online, your Instagrams.
Travis Ragsdale on everything. I'm on Behance and
TikTok.
Instagram, the TikTok, yes. If you
want
to see
dances
more
are you
of the
doing
same,
on TikTok?
All of them. All of the dances. Yeah.
We didn't get Kevin coming in here talking about Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
or The Wire.
Come on, Kevin, where are you?
It's a holiday.
It's a holiday.
Nobody's working.
Yeah,
today.
he's out.
Oh yeah, that's a favorite TV show right there. Totally forgot about Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Breaking Bad and The Wire.
Amazing. Haven't seen The Wire.
Breaking Bad and The Wire. Yeah. So all the things. TravisRagsdale.com.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, Dallas representing.
Yep.
Yeah. But we're going to get out of here. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review, helps us get our ratings up. You can subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. The newsletter is coming out. Going to have a great newsletter here pretty soon with some new stuff, some new stories, some new content. And then you can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb Feel the Bab 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. And then that Render is Fire shirt, which you can only wear ironically, and also all of these may be limited to subject to availability.
Yeah.
Void where prohibited.
Void where prohibited.
Void where prohibited. It's basically there's some pipeline issues right now with Amazon merch. Yep. So some of the stuff you can buy, some you can't. I can't really keep track of it. If you click on it and it doesn't let you choose a size or add it to your cart, it means that something's not working right now. So just bear with them. It was working really well. But all right. That's about it. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope. Not really, kind of. But YouTube, Mograph.com. Make sure you check out our new content, which I should have out by tomorrow. So probably by the time you hear this. The Mograph TV stuff. And I want to do more of those. And if you have a subject in that you think would be good, something we could tackle, maybe for even upcoming artists like that.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Cool.
And we're going to get out of here. Till next time, I'm Dave.
I'm Matt.
I'm Travis.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
Pretty good, I guess. Mograph.com, an online resource for motion graphic artists. Start your week with the Mograph podcast. Industry news, interviews with your favorite artists, and terrible humor. Watch live shows and interviews from Mograph events like NAB, SIGGRAPH, Half-Res, and local meetups. Our Mograph Talks feature live demos and motivation from artists all around the world.
Sometimes you gotta make stuff that you're not gonna put on your reel, and I'm not here to judge.
What if Rick and Morty show up for the countdown at midnight? That's where I peaked in life, in my career.
We gotta stop this thing, Rick! It's gonna kill us all!
Hear from the people that create your software, design your render engines, and artists that are changing the face of modern motion graphics.
You get that render done. Yeah, you better frame what?
Mograph tutorials and online classes will teach you about Cinema 4D, After Effects, as well as other popular software and render engines.
Throw in the HDR Studio, take the render settings, pick the HDR, put in reflection, and gorgeous.
Branch into new software. Learn time-saving tips, techniques, workflows, and lessons that'll keep you up to date in the world of motion design.
Oh, brother, those are some of my favorite elves.
I love projects that scare me. When our art director comes to us and asks for something that I had never done before, man, it gets me pumped.
Join the conversation in our live sessions. Check out our plugins, or join the hundreds of daily active users in our Slack channel for technical help, advice, contests, or just to joke around. Real nice banana.
Ah, that's so funny. All right. I'm going to live forever.
Subscribe today and get the latest updates on our YouTube and other social media channels.
Take all your dreams and just do it!
We don't care how you get here, folks. Just get here.
Subscribe to Mograph.com.